Hello and welcome to the Growing Green Landscapes Podcast with Jeremiah Jennings. While still in his early 20s, Jeremiah already runs a successful six-figure lawn maintenance company. Listen in as he and his guests share the things that have brought them success that can help you in your business. As a young entrepreneur in the green industry, Jeremiah emphasizes the tips and tricks involved in running a lawn maintenance business while discussing the principles applying to all small businesses. If you're wanting to grow, become profitable and professional, you're in the right place. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the Growing Green Landscapes Podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode today. If you're new to the show, we're super excited to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a regular listener, we appreciate y'all too. Y'all are the ones that are helping us get out there to these new listeners and grow this thing. Y'all's support does not go unnoticed for sure. Every time somebody reacts to our stories on Instagram when we post about the podcast, it really means a lot. It's really helping the podcast grow. We're growing slowly and organically, and I'm okay with that. I didn't want to blow up overnight, and we'll get there. We're going to get out there and reach more people every episode. So if you're new to the show, we're going to do a little overview of what this podcast is real quick before we get into today's show. This podcast is mainly about talking business principles, life principles, and everything in between for the most part. But we're really hitting on business principles that are relatable to all businesses. I'm a 21-year-old entrepreneur. I have a lawn maintenance company. This is my third full-time year in business, and I'm learning a lot along the way. I've learned so much from social media and people out there that are putting content on YouTube and on podcasts and Instagram and everywhere else you can put content, and they've just taught me so much. So I wanted to start this podcast. I kind of got a burden to give back a little bit of what I've learned to other people that are younger than me, stuff that I wish I would have known when I was starting out, when I was 14 and 15 years old, and I would have fast-forwarded me to where I am today, but way back then, and I'm still figuring stuff out. So that's kind of what the show is about, a little rundown. If you want more in-depth, you can go back to the earlier episodes, and we talk about that in depth, about kind of where we are, who we are, and how we got to where we are today, and so on and so forth. So go back and listen to that if you want to. But for today's episode, it's going to be a really fun one. This is one that y'all are not expecting, I don't think, and I wasn't even expecting. I just kind of was thinking about what I wanted to do for this episode, and it kind of just hit me that I was going to bring on a new guest, somebody that hasn't been on the podcast yet, and someone that hopefully to have on here again, and it is my wife, Savannah. How are you doing today? Good. Oh, you're muted.
I'm good.
See, this is real life, guys. So I haven't done that many in-person interviews. I had her muted from where she was getting a sip of water earlier. But anyway, Savannah's going to join us today on the episode. We're just going to kind of kick some things back and forth, talk about her role in the business and how we've gotten to where we are together in our relationship, and what she thinks about the business and what we do every day. So I hope y'all enjoy it. It's going to be a rough cut. It's not going to be very long, but it's just going to be us kind of sitting back and bantering back and forth. I'm sure we'll laugh. And the dog's in here with us, so she's hanging out. Hopefully she doesn't make too much background noise. But this podcast, it's never been a totally put together podcast. We're out here. It's real life stuff, and we're just learning as we go in life. And that's what we're just going to bring it to you that way. We're not going to try to polish everything up. We're just going to bring it to you like it is. So Savannah's joining us today, and I'm excited to have her on here because Savannah is obviously my beautiful, wonderful wife. I'm excited to take this journey of life, take it on with her in the business and just in life in general. We've been married for a little over a year now, and she knew coming into our marriage that I was going to have this business and kind of take it. I started in college, but I dropped out and wanted to give full time to the business, and she supported me through that, and that was huge. So I kind of wanted to get her on here and just talk about some things, talk about together in the trades a little bit earlier from where we went together, and how she sees herself in the business and where she wants to go, and just kind of bring that to y'all and let you hear it for anybody else that's out there and has a wife, or if you're a woman and you have a husband that's supporting in your business, and how to do that. So I guess we can just kind of start off with what do you think about me being an entrepreneur? Do you enjoy that lifestyle? I mean, it's kind of if you are an entrepreneur and you're listening to this, you definitely learn along the way that life's a journey. Okay, you're not getting a set paycheck every week, especially if you're starting out. And for your spouse out there, that can be kind of stressful. And what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I've been the one doing it the whole time, so what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, yeah. It definitely keeps us on our toes. That was the first thing that came to my mind with you kind of doing this business, running it, growing it. I am not going to lie. I mean, it definitely is stressful in a lot of aspects, but I think it's worth it to see you growing this business and doing something that you truly enjoy and feel like is what you're supposed to be doing. But no, I think it definitely has its challenges, especially like you're kind of talking about, you're not going to get a set paycheck every week. Every season ebbs and flows of business and what business even looks like for you in that season. But we're growing and learning, and I'm glad that you've found something that you truly enjoy and look forward to doing every day. So,
yeah, it is. It's fun, and I'm glad to hear you say that. I love to hear you say that. Savannah is a nurse outside of our house. She doesn't stay home all the time. She does work. She provides, brings income for us, and she's a nurse at a pediatric hospital near us. So that's what she does full time. So she doesn't technically work in the business, but if you're married out there, she's in the business. Like, she's a part of the business, even though she doesn't do day-to-day stuff. Right now, she's a part of it because she sees what I go through on the back end. She sees what it's taken to start up this podcast, and I don't make any money on this podcast, none at all. But this is a business effort that hopefully down the road we're going to grow it and let this be its own thing. And she's supporting me right now, and I'm glad that you're coming along this journey with me. And there has been times we've had arguments and stuff. I mean, this is real life. Like, is it worth putting the money into this investment of the podcast, or cameras for YouTube, or equipment for the business, whatever it may be? That has been tough, and it's a risk that you take in being an entrepreneurial family, and that's just. I mean, we're learning it day by day, and that's what it goes back to what this whole podcast is about. Is we're taking y'all along the journey with us. And if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling down on yourself, like, oh, we're never going to make it, then take it from us. You can make it. I mean, we're still going through it. We're learning stuff every day, but you can get there. So, I guess, what do you think about me taking on this podcast journey, taking on a new field of landscaping? That's kind of something we started doing this year, and Savannah got to see the back end of what all went into it, kind of buying some more equipment for the business. We bought a second truck this year, and that kind of went into the whole landscaping side of things because I needed another truck to split into two crews so I could go do some landscaping while the mowing crew worked. And so she kind of saw the back end. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying she, like I'm talking. She's sitting right here with me. So what do you have to say about, like, that to the wife out there listening, or the husband, the spouse, needing to make those financial investments when you're the entrepreneur, you're the one running the business? How do you think you should support them? What's the best advice you could give to someone who's out there that's like, I don't know if I trust him to do it, or that type of stuff? Like, if you're new in the business, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think that it takes a lot of patience because it's hard, especially like we said, I'm a nurse, so I'm not in the day-to-day decisions as far as like out there in the yards and seeing the things you do and what you need and what you have to have. So, you come and tell me about a mower or something that you need, and I'm like, what? Why do you need that? That's unnecessary. That's a ton of money, blah, blah, blah. And so just being patient and understanding, like, okay, they're out there every day. I don't necessarily get to see that, but that doesn't mean that this is not necessary for the business. Is a big thing, just kind of understanding that and realizing that. I think another huge thing is trusting your wife, your husband, and knowing that they have your best interest at heart, and knowing that everything he's doing is to grow this company and provide for your family. So if you can trust them and know that, and every decision they make is the betterment of the business and for your family, then I think that makes it a lot easier for me to be like, I don't really get that or understand that, but if that's what you genuinely think is the best thing for the company and for our family, then I'm going to support you in that. But on the flip side, I would say that there have been times where I have come back and been like, is that necessary? Like, is that a necessary purchase? Do you think that's what you really need right now? And we've been able to have conversations and been like, maybe we could hold off on that. So I don't think that you have to just automatically go with everything just because you're supporting them in that. It's okay to question and be like, okay, well, where is this coming from? What is that for? X, Y, Z. But at the end of the day, being able to trust them and know that the decisions they're making are the betterment of the company and for ultimately for you and your family is huge, to be able to trust them in that.
With that being said, though, trust is a huge thing in marriage and business and everything, and just in everyday life. Trust is such a huge thing, and you can lose it very quickly. It takes a long time to build it, but you need to build it. That's the thing, is if you want your spouse to trust you on those big financial decisions, then they have to trust you in the little ones. And buying the blower, the $400 or $500, $600 blower, then you need to make that decision, that financial decision, smartly. Don't just go out and buy 4 and 5 and 6 blowers just because you want them. You need to buy them when you need them and make that revenue and let her see that, let him see that, and then grow off of that. So when you do need that $10,000 or $12,000 mower or the $30,000 or $40,000 truck, they can trust you and go along with you and say, I believe that you're going to take that and help it and use it in our everyday life. And another thing you can talk about is in the trust aspect of trusting your spouse, that you need to include your significant other in your purchases, in your investments before you even do it, while you're taking that journey. Savannah we were talking about that earlier of that's a good topic to talk about because it's something that I've had to learn to do. And I mean, what do you think about that? How do you feel about? We've had it's caused some arguments and stuff because I've tried to just do stuff on my own, and Savannah was like, I want to be a part of it, even though she's not in the everyday business. And I mean, how did that make you feel? I feel like you want to support me more when you're involved in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And I think going back, like, talking about including your spouse in those decisions, especially the financial ones, starting out now, but really then when you were really starting and when we first got married, when you're starting a business and you're trying to grow, so much of that is personal money, like personal finances that are put into these things, not necessarily air quote business money. It was personal money. And I feel like even then it was especially important to be included in those decisions because that was our money that we had saved together. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know, where that was going, and that you wanted to make sure that I knew that you felt like those were good decisions and financial purchases. But I think the trust aspect and the being included in those purchases, like, there are certain things that you've purchased that I'm going to be totally honest, I do not know necessarily what they are or know that they're important, but the fact that we've built this relationship of trust and you being honest with me, again, not without arguments in the past and things that I wish would have been more open about, but I feel like being totally open and honest and transparent about the purchases can help you build that trust. So again, I don't really care if it's something that I don't necessarily know about, but just the fact that you've been open about it with me and honest and saying, I think this is a good decision. I know it doesn't necessarily affect your everyday life and it might be a small aspect of the business, but it does help me to feel more involved, especially with me having another full-time job and not really in the business every single day, but helping be a part of those decisions or even just made aware of those decisions helps me feel like this is our thing,
Yeah, that's big. And going back to the kind of topic that she blew over there, but we can go into a little more depth on it of when you're starting out, I think the people that come to mind to me are the ones that are just married or they've been married and they're just going to start their business. We're kind of coming out of this stage of using personal money to grow the business. I'm finally getting to the point where I'm taking owner's draws. The business money is spent on business things, solely on business things, and I take a paycheck every month. And that money is put in our personal account, and we're saving that. We use our personal life out of that money, but we have solely business money. Well, that's not the case for a lot of people that are just starting out.
Well, it wasn't the case for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Quite a while, so
yeah.
it's,
This is my third year in business, and we're just now getting to the point where I can do that. I mean, this summer is the first year that I'm taking owner's draws. I just reinvested for the first 2 years, and I'm still reinvesting pretty heavily. The business is not making that much profit outside of paying myself, paying my employees, and all that. I mean, I'm taking those owner's draws, so I guess you can say it's profit, but like Caleb Allman says, net profit is what the business makes after everything and everyone has been paid, including the owner. So if you're making $500 a week after the owner and everyone else has been paid, then that's your net profit, not the $2,000 you're paying your owner or whatever. You don't include your owner's salary in that profit. You have to take that out and say, what is my business actually making outside of that? But that's a little side tangent. Back on the topic of the personal money of for you guys that are just starting out there, and I act like we've been married for 10 years. We've been married for a little over a year. But I've just taken advice from our family members, people that I follow on social media, just about including each other. And I think the people that come to mind the first are some of the ones we met in Texas was Greg Wheat and his wife. They're just starting out, and I don't really know that much about their business. We're going to have Greg on the podcast soon. He was talking to me, and he was like, I don't know how much I have to offer because I'm just starting out, but he might honestly have the most to offer because him and his wife are starting, and they're growing this together, and it's small. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to talk down on him. Greg's a great guy. He could be making way more money than I'm making, but he seems like the kind of guy that they might be going through that like we were, and I would love to talk to him about that. And there's more than him out there. Like I said, I'm still just not getting out of this, so I'm not coming at it from a top-down approach. I'm simply saying in my personal life, I can see that, and that's kind of what we wanted to talk about was if you are going through that situation of using personal money and you're just starting out, your first year in business, just know that as long as you communicate and you're on the same page and you both are on board for this journey you're going to take, then that's okay, and you'll get through it.
Yeah, and I think, the biggest thing, I kind of touched on it earlier with trusting is, making sure you're both on board with the goal of the company. Like, this is the direction we both see the company going, and remembering that we're on the same team. And, again, trusting that whatever your spouse is doing for the company is ultimately to better your family and you. So, supporting them and trusting them and investing with them in that is ultimately betterment of the company and the family. And I think that, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that as we've grown in like this year, and I've kind of learned to be more supportive, patient, and trusting in your decisions, like that means a lot to you. That I have said, okay, like I'm trusting you with this. I know this is, you want what's best for both of us. And so just simply supporting you and saying like, I'm on board, we're doing this, it can be a lot to your spouse, even if they don't say it all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it means the world to me knowing that I have your support and that I'm not having to do it alone and like feel bad for spending the money or hide it behind your back, something like that, because we've discussed, this is where we want to go and this is what it's going to take to get there.
Not even just the financial aspect, but the time commitment, especially, like, I feel like that's a whole other thing, but starting out, you're not only financially investing your personal things, but your time, your personal time. I think there's a lot of times that, you as the owner have to put in the extra hours, whether that be doing a yard that got left off the end of a week, or you having to, fix or service or clean all your trucks and then wash your equipment and make, like those are things that you don't get to clock out. You come home and those are still things that need to be done. Invoices need to be sent, XYZ, like there are a lot of things that I've had to learn to be still supportive in that. Even though you're home, you're still working, and understanding that it is not only a financial commitment, but at first, but a time commitment. And just as a spouse, understanding this is where we're at. We said we're on the same team. I need to be patient and understand. Again, it's for the company and for our family.
It just takes sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it boils down to, is it takes sacrifice in the weeks that, Savannah, when we got married last year, she was working night shift. And we got married in the middle of summer, May 30th. Dead middle of summer, my busy season. She was taking her test, her boards to get into work, and she passed, and she started work in June. And so she worked night shift for the first 6 months, I think, something like that.
First year.
Was it a whole year?
I didn't stop until like 3 months ago.
Yeah. So, 8-10 months, something like that, almost a year.
Yeah.
But she was working night shift, and guys, let me tell you, that was hard. Like that was our personal time that we gave up, and it was not easy. I mean, there was times, during the summer when she worked, it was, I would get up and leave, and she would come home and sleep, and then she would get up and leave, and I would come home.
I mean, most nights, or really mornings, we pass each other in the driveway.
Yeah.
I mean, we would roll down the window and say, "Hey, love you."
The goal.
Yeah.
It's crazy how we come. The goal was for me to stop and was for me to wait long enough for you to get home.
Yeah, just to see you as you're rolling out. Yeah.
And that was literally our goal every day, was like, can you just wait long enough for you to get home?
Yep.
To say hey and be done. And I was trying to get home as early as I can every day so I could catch her before she left.
I know. And most nights I would have to make dinner, or it would be something that you were able to heat up that I could put in the fridge or on the stove, and I'd eat it and leave it for you, because we didn't even eat dinner together most of my work weeks.
Yep.
So
it was such a time commitment. I mean, and it's one of those things that you almost forget about it, but it's good to be reminded. Well, yeah, it's good to be reminded, because where did we come from? And like I said, we're only a year in, but just if you're going through it, guys, if you know anybody or you personally are going through it, just know you can get through it. Mm-hmm. And if you know somebody, share this podcast with them. Hopefully it'll help them out, because it's a fun journey. It really is. The thrill of getting to go out, and I get to go out and find work and provide for us. And I have a flexible schedule. Those first couple of years were tough. I worked late days. I mean, I'd come home at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we would work late. Savannah was working, and we would just try to spend as much time together as we could. But now I'm definitely don't have it all figured out by any means. I'm still learning every day, but the business is making more money now. We're getting more profitable. Our scheduling is better. Our route density is better. So we're kind of coming out of that phase of we don't have to work until 8 o'clock every day, and we get to spend some more time together, and we get to take on this journey of life and marriage and running this business, and we get to do it together, even though she isn't working with me every day. And that's something that I've thought about. And I don't think you would be on board with going out and working in the field every day. But I think I think the goal would be, I think the end goal is for you to get involved in the office work of the business.
Yeah.
To get you out of the hospital. Let you do it for a few years and maybe go part-time one day. Yeah. But and I think that's a big thing is what goals do you want for your business and for your life? And this is something we're working on. And I'm going to keep reiterating this. And maybe you're tired of hearing it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Mm-hmm. We're doing this with y'all. Like we're not 15 years down the road saying this is what we did. This is us right now every day, like figuring this stuff out. So if you're going through it, just know there's somebody else with you. If you have any questions, you can let us know, and we'll help you. Hopefully, y'all can help us. But anyway, back to what I was saying is you gotta set goals, and that's something we're working on. We haven't done it very well in the past year, but you got to set some goals for your business and where you want to be, and where do you want to be in 5 years? Whether it be with kids or working in the business or that type of stuff, you gotta set those things and work towards them, because it makes these tough times a lot harder. If you're just starting out, you're using that personal money, your time. Y'all sit down together and write out some goals of, hey, in 2 years, I hope that we can put all of our personal money, we can take out of the business our owner's draws, and then leave personal money and business money separate, because you need to do that as soon as you can. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that, like, it really hits home to me that I'm seeing that we just have a lot left to do, and it just got a long way to go, but it's been a fun journey getting to this point. And I don't know. The dog's in here. She's been such a distraction right now. She's going crazy. And Savannah just blew up your ears by blowing into the mic. But she's never done this before, so she's learning. I told you this was going to be uncut. We're not editing any of this out.
Jeremiah.
Everybody's going to hear you say that too. But I hope y'all are enjoying this. It's fun. It's fun, guys. She was reluctant to do this to start, but hopefully we can get her back on here. I hope y'all are enjoying this. I don't know. I told you it was going to be an episode of kind of rambling and hitting on some different topics here and there. Mm-hmm. We didn't have any notes. We just kind of sat down and said, let's just talk. And I don't know. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
Not off the top of my head.
Together in the Trades. You can hit on that a little bit.
Oh, fun, yeah.
You can kind of give your take on it.
Cool.
I mean, I gave mine a few episodes ago. Just give your little...
Yeah, no. Well, first of all, I thought it was really cool to meet other wives. It kind of made me realize how little I'm involved in the business, but that's okay. No, it was really neat to see other couples because, you know, we see people on social media and all this fun stuff, but we don't really know many other people like in our circle of friends here that own small businesses or anything like that. So it was really neat to get to really hone in, focus on us as a couple owning a small business, or but us together being married, what that looks like, the day-to-days, and just the importance of prioritizing still our marriage despite the business, and just really being surrounded by that community of people. I thought was so fun.
Yeah, there was just so much to take away from it. And
so much, yeah.
I don't even know the demographic of who's listening to this, if it's a lot of married people or single guys or what, but if you are our age and you're young, or maybe not our age, but you're young, you don't have any kids, you're just starting this thing out, and I think I actually missed this talk because I was doing a podcast, so as soon as the replay comes out, I want to go back and listen to it, but they talked on doing the business with kids. And that's something that it's going to be happening for us down the road. I mean, it's going to be like, how do we do this? And it's a journey that's going to be fun for sure, but it's going to be challenging. And that was stuff that you took away from the almonds, right? And in that of Brittany was talking about how to run the day-to-day when they're in daycare, because she's in the office all the time. She does all that stuff, does paperwork, and they're a distraction. And it's stuff that's going to be fun. I'm going to take it, and I can't wait for it. And there's a dog making more noise. I'm going to have to find a new place to podcast. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't know. This has been such a rambling episode. But Together in Trades was awesome. Hope you can go if you didn't go last year.
Yes.
You can make a lot of connections, meet a lot of people. We're going to be in Nashville this year. Well, this year. In 2022, it's going to be in Nashville, so a lot closer to us. We can just drive up there and spend the night. So it's going to be a fun weekend. I can't wait for that. And it's just awesome. Just an awesome event. It was in its infancy last year, and it was great. So I can't imagine what they're going to put on now that we're a year in. So hopefully to have a lot more podcasts out by then. Maybe do some podcasting at the event. If y'all are going, we'd get together and hook up and do something. But if that's it, I mean, I don't really have anything much else to say. You got anything to talk about? Or you're done?
I don't think so.
You ready to go work on house projects?
I guess, yes.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing. We just bought a house back in February, and so we're banging up this podcast tonight, and I told her, I said, hey, if you'll be on here with me, I think it'll really help the ratings. And
my goodness.
So if you're on here with me, I'll go help you. We're going to do some work on the fireplace and some other odds and ends. So we're about to go work on that and knock that out. But, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave those ratings and reviews. It really means a lot. If you leave those reviews, we will read them on the episodes and kind of just highlight you, shout you out there for a little bit. Not a big audience to shout you out to, but, hey, if you're out there listening, we want you to be thanked and exposed, and help maybe people come follow your social media and so on and so forth. So it's just one of those things. I want to give back to you. Y'all give back to me. So just a kind of a trade-in, trade-out thing right there. But anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. I can't wait to get another one out here on Friday. It's going to be a fun topic. We're going to talk about some things that I had on Instagram today, just a little poll we did, but we're going to take some notes on that, get some things together, and hopefully bring you a good conversation on Friday. So y'all be coming back Friday for that one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. But without further ado, that's going to be it, and we'll see y'all here on the next one. Thanks for joining, Savannah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
She's glad to be here. Anyway, we'll see y'all later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green Landscapes podcast. We know you have many other podcast options to choose from, and don't take it for granted that you chose to spend some time with us today. You can connect with Jeremiah Jennings at Growing Green Landscapes on Instagram, or use the link in the show description. Don't forget to smash the follow button on the podcast and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. We hope you crush it in your business and hope to catch you on our next episode.